So hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Water Cooler Chat, where we here delegating, broadcasting, gatewaying, orchestrating, developing, transcoding, anything to do on the Livepeer network. We're here to ask questions, get answers. We got two topics ahead of us. One is the Eliza framework plugin idea, and the second is just an update from the 50. So the big topic I'd like to spend some time on is this Eliza framework built by AI16Z. But before that, I want to quickly, because it's a short topic, the Coin 50, listing. And do you want to? Do you know much about the coin list, the Coin 50, what it is? Back
Sure.
Livepeer on it. What is the importance or something like that?
Yeah, totally. So, and I'm also going to check alongside AMKTs is what it's called, and see if they have. I don't know if they have LPT in their token. So I'll just reference that as I after. But anyway, so yeah, for those who kind of are more involved in traditional investing, and again, I'm in the U.S., so I'll center it around that. You know, kind of traditional wisdom and the best practice for retirement, especially, is what they're called mutual funds or index funds. Mutual funds are like large baskets of different stocks and bonds that are aggregated based on different metrics. So it could be like mid cap, large cap, S&P 500, which are the top 500 U.S. companies. Essentially, it baskets these together. So depending on what the basket is, it can minimize risk because it's a more diversified portfolio. So in crypto Web3 for, I would say, almost 4 years now, I've been waiting for a more consumer-friendly mutual fund index of the major tokens in the industry. There were some early projects that didn't really go anywhere. I can't remember the name of the one I found in like 2022, but since then there's been a number. One is alongside crypto, and this Coinbase 50 index was recently released. So essentially, it tracks the top 50, and I can send in the chat the fact sheet, and this just shows you what tokens it's monitoring. So my perspective, this is my personal perspective, not about non-live Inc. perspective, but my personal perspective, just investing, is I always like to do index funds because they are tracking a broader basket. You get more exposure, and it might lower some returns on the top end, but it also brings up some of the losses on the bottom end. So I hope that was a comprehensive enough explanation.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And just for those that are looking into it for the first time, Livepeer actually is listed as one of the Coin 50 listed right there with some other things. So yeah, it's very, very cool that Livepeer recognition Coinbase that deserving of.
Totally. And I think the good thing about being in a basket like that, and I'm still checking on alongside to see if we're in there, but the good thing is, people will buy in because, this is more for traditional investors, less of the degen type. But essentially, people will buy into that and say, hey, I just want, some exposure to the Web3 industry or the, crypto market, or however you want to frame it. And that will, benefit our community, because now we have more holders, and potentially those people will be funneled into delegation or funneled into our community. And of course, more people holding LPT is never a bad thing.
Is this Coin 50? Where is it listed? Stock exchange, or is it Coinbase platform?
So listed on Coinbase. So it's a perpetual, I think. I don't think it's available in the US, however. So it's available, I think, for international. But I think the intention, right, is hopefully soon things like this will be legal within the U.S. And especially under the new presidency in the U.S. A very crypto friendly. So potentially we'll be seeing more regulations change that allow these type of products, financial products, to be accessible to U.S. Investors and citizens.
Very interesting. Yeah, exciting news. Glad to see we're on it. Yeah.
And to just an aside on the AMKT, so Livepeer is not in AMKT. It's a smaller basket. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 15 tokens in alongside. So it's not the top 50, it's the top 15, which of course that is not inclusive of LPT.
And then as for LPT, we also have the Grayscale Investment Trust, LPT, dedicated digital token, so the product. Yeah, okay. I have been noticing though that Livepeer isn't always AI play on graph their project along. Push to how people know that we do inference now. So I think we can for going.
Yeah, 100%. And that on the inside is, and also in the community end, right, we are shifting our messaging to be more central to AI. But of course, we don't want to leave the transcoding core by the wayside. So, I'm currently working on the community strategy of how to incorporate both those personas within the community.
Great. All right. Okay. Well, with that being said, I think Rick just messaged me. He said he'll be here. So maybe pause a sec until we get to that topic. In the meantime, I want to bring up a topic around this new release, the new Go Livepeer release that happened. Yes. Does anyone know what happened? Was there a new release that wasn't announced? And I think Frank had tested it out, and I didn't follow that conversation very. Papa Bear, do you happen to know?
I've only seen what's going, the conversation in the chat about it. I have not updated yet myself. I was actually sort of doing it on one of my machines as this chat is going on, but as of right now, no, I don't really know much.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess there's a new version out, and keep an eye on that. Flo in the chat says, "I'm running the new version." Cool. Since 4 days. Okay, 4 days running it and no issues. Cool. Did we change anything in it, like any of the quality parameters, or is that just for the benchmark binary that was broken? Double the.
Oh, I was doing it for the AI side. I don't know what's going on the transcoding side.
Oh, is that released for the AI side or the transcoding side?
I don't know.
They're the same now. They're no longer separate. So when you release one, you release the other.
Okay, I see. Okay, I think it's a Flow says. I think it's a focus on AI. Right. Okay, so they're not separate anymore. It's not a fork or a spike code. It's all just one binary, right?
Correct. But yeah, as Flood just pointed out or mentioned in the chat, so are you pulling down the images automatically, or did you have to change anything, or you just ran that and just let it handle all the containers itself?
Just for those that are listening, Flo says, this release is related to introducing automatic worker image pull, adding an option to send events to Kafka, and a few bug fixes. Additionally, it adds the backbone for live video AI feature. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm installing it for. I want to give that a try and see if I can get that running with Oops, working on that with me, or not working on that, but he's doing some stuff with. I'll let him speak about it. I don't want to talk for. I don't want to talk for him.
Okay, so it's
Or
for the
or we can
upcoming
just be quiet
release
about it.
of the Comfy UI streaming.
Yeah, I believe that's needed to run the model, but I don't know. I haven't set it up yet, so I don't know what's going on as far as how that works. But I was going to try and get the model just running so that people can play with it if they want to.
Is it a different model than what we're already running?
The model that does the live video, yes.
The live video model is a new model you have to download and then you have to spin up. Do we know how much like RAM it takes and things like that?
I don't know yet. Let's see. I can't remember the name of it. I'm looking it up real quick. I'm gonna see it here. Let's see.
I don't think it's a
But that's
Hugging Face model. I was trying to find it on Hugging Face and I couldn't find it. Hold on, what's the name of that thing? Wow, I don't have it. Hang on.
Cumulo Autumn Stream Diffusion. Don't know much about it.
All right. Well,
I'm sure there'll be some sort of official announcement about it when it's ready to go, but just trying to be on the cutting edge there. So I literally was just updating the software right now so that I can install the model and try it out, but haven't gotten very far yet.
yeah, I'm excited for this live streaming idea of the inference because I've been working on this Punk agent platform where if you're a Punk owner, you can deploy an agent that is owned and operated by the NFT holder. So if the holder sells their NFT, the agent gets sold with it. So right now it's just got basic functionality where it's like tweeting and generating images and stuff. But I was really curious to see if I could get some sort of beta or prototype up of the Punk agent being able to live stream content. The idea would be maybe you overlay like NFT image, like the Punk itself. You could use a live streaming service that would manipulate the face of the Punk based on input text that it's replying to. So it's a tweet. Someone tweets at it. It reads the tweet. It uses 11 Lab to generate the voice, which is already integrated into Eliza. And then the live streaming plugin would then play the 11 Labs .mp4 recording and live stream face moving, it trying to talk or something. So I don't think it would. I'm probably not the right person to build the whole pipeline, but this concept that I want to explore, Livepeer would be like perfect kind of match for that. I see, Papa, you post a link. Yeah, Stream Diffusion. How long has that model been out? The new model?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's new to me.
Uh,
December 30th. No, it's a year. December 30th last year.
okay. 1.1. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, see, the thing about the Stream Diffusion, give it just text prompts, generate the image. Think how it works.
I really don't know yet. We're just going to try and give the hardware to support to let the developers figure out what to do with it.
I'm on the side of like trying to find the use case right now. I haven't actually like my 3090 is just like not even on. I don't know. I managed to turn it off and not. Yeah, I've been just kind of trying to focus on the AI side and infiltrating the AI 16s. Slowly hint my way in there, or that would appear. Which Rick's not here, but busy. Did want to talk to him about that topic, but in the meantime, we'll.
He would definitely have the answers to the questions you just asked, plus obviously the was Eliza stuff here. Also talking. Need Rick. Where's Rick? Come on, Rick.
One note, and again, Rick has more details on this, but over the next, I think, 2 months, the SP is going to be helping out Inc. With the real-time video AI launch, but they will still have, I think, a number of people working on, I forget the name, I'm not sure the name that he's using now, but kind of like the AI batch type of things that you're referring to, Titan. So I think that's the only visibility I have on kind of priorities, but of course, Rick can give more details there.
With that,
and I'm down to go if you want to wait for Rick. I can stall some for you.
Sure. Yeah, take it over.
Yeah, so just a few updates. A personal update. I am officially head of community over at Inc. So woo! So that's exciting. The contract and everything was signed last week, so that's now official. So yeah, big plans, big ideas, and excited to continue to grow the community here. And of course, always interested and open to hearing people's feedback on where you want to see Livepeer's community go. If you want to see anything change, I'm always down to talk. If you want to jump on my calendar, you can just ask me here or anywhere, and I can drop you the link for that. So that's some big news for me. And in terms of community stuff, 2 big updates, and I, of course, posted this in the announcements, but we now have the rules channel live, and you can see that under welcome. I know that we had talked a lot about having a DGen channel, which, I was aligned with and, hoping that we could figure it out. However, I talked to legal, and due to other companies who got like cease and desists that are based in the US, it doesn't look like that is something we can do in the Discord still. Again, right, with changing governance or changing legal structure in the US, potentially that might be something that is on the table in the future. So I will continue to kind of check in on the legal state of having that conversation in the Livepeer community that's like sanctioned by Inc. To the side of that, we of course have the Telegram, which is not Inc. run. And Alvin, who is a community contributor and moderator, I asked him if he was open to potentially delivering a plan to shore up the Telegram and make that a more solid community rather than just like spam everywhere. So he will be exploring that and delivering me a proposal end of month. So hopefully in the new year, we'll get the Telegram in a more community-oriented, what's the word I'm looking for? A community-oriented vibe and a more tailored vibe. So it can be a place where folks who are interested in speculation can live and breathe and have a good time there. Because right now, I think, and maybe folks have input on that, I feel like right now it's not the best experience. So I definitely want to make that a better experience for everyone. Any thoughts there before I move on?
I just want to thank you for putting in the effort and putting the community first, gathering feedback, going back, figuring what's possible and what's not. I mean, guiding us through that, and yeah, bringing these things forward and place good. So, do the effort.
Oh, that means a lot. Yeah, I appreciate that, Titan. Yeah, so that's the first piece. The second piece is Discord security and spam and bots and oh, brother. So we have, a continuous issue, as I think everyone knows. And, part of that I identified, and I don't think it's like this is news to anybody, but we don't even have simple verification in our community. And, that will lead to the situations we're having now. So I'm going to be writing up a proposal to be signed off on by Doug on, implementing a verification flow on our onboarding or in our onboarding, I should say. And that hopefully will be done before end of month. I think it's like pretty important that in the new year we kind of have a fresh space where, we know everyone here has been verified and there's less of this kind of spam ruining the user experience or the community journey, right? Because who likes to jump in and the first thing you interface with is a bot trying to scam you, right? So that's not the best, and I definitely have seen that. So now I'm empowered to move forward there. Hopefully by end of month, like I said, we'll get that new flow up and running. For everyone here who already has a higher role, my plan is there won't be any changes for y'all. So if you have like, builder, video builder, AI builder, or other any core contributor, or any other higher level roles, things won't change. The only thing that will change is people who only have like the builder or the roles you can get in the verify your role channel. You'll need to re-verify. So again, this is tentative, but my plan is for everyone to re-verify. It's quick, it's pretty easy. However, you're interested in like not having to do that. There are roles I can probably hand out for folks who don't want to have to go through that process. And basically having everyone have to go through it again will block out all of the bots who have the member and the base level roles. And that is the plan there. So a little bit of a shakeup, but I'll try to make it as smooth as possible for everybody. And then moving forward after that, we will have a clean slate, and no one who joined as a bot will be able to bypass that. Maybe there's a few, but again, I'm hoping for like a 90% reduction in that noise to clarify the signal in the community. Any thoughts there?
I think we're in good hands. So again, just appreciate what you.
Amazing. The last thing I was going to mention was the bounty program. I'm taking that over. Kind of moving forward. Hans was the one running that before. Now it's going to be me. And essentially, for those who are in SPEs, I know a number of you here have been in one or have ran one. The bounty program is intended to help Inc. employees as well as SPE members to get the labor done that they need. The historical problem with that is top of funnel reach, and reach within the community. Of course, the community is middle of funnel, so we don't get as much reach in terms of like a lot of eyes. For instance, the bounty channel, announcement channel, only gets like I think monthly maybe 123 views or something like that. So the intention is to get more visibility there. And I think, for top of funnel advertising, paid opportunities from the community is a really great way to drive traffic here. So I'll be doing a cadence structure for top of funnel, and hopefully we get more engagement on those bounties. And then, of course, SPs can be more incentivized to propose bounties. And then I'll be working on making sure that the not application process, but the review process is quick. Historically, it's been pretty long. So making sure everyone from the SP side or Inc. side and the applicant side feels really positive. So that will be over the next 2 months. So yeah, I think those are all the major updates. If people have questions on anything in the announcement I just posted last week, let me know. The last thing I'll say is that the AI Builder tag is live. So if anyone here doesn't have it but wants to, get that tag, it's more of just like it doesn't have anything like relevant yet, but it's for us to identify like who's interested in building on these AI pipelines that we're going to be launching in the new year. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Well, congratulations on being head of community and working on the grants program. Really facilitated a lot in the past, so yeah. Good luck with that. There's a lot of applications to come in, and you got to sift through them and deal with applicants. It's a lot of work.
One clarification: the bounty program and the grants program are two different things. So the bounty program is like, sorry, maybe I just want to make sure, were you like not, do you think they're the same, or is that just me assuming wrong?
Oh, sorry, maybe I heard it wrong. Are you ahead of the bounty program or the grants program?
Both right now.
Everything's
mine.
You're taking over from Hans, so I was like,
yeah. So Hans was running the grants program as well, but I took over that like a long time ago. The bounty program was also being run by Hans, and I'm taking that over from him too. So the bounty program is for like SPEs and Inc. And that is in the, let me just send the channel here. So that's what's posted in this channel. Copy link. So that's what's posted in this channel. Those are the SPE bounties and the grant bounties. And what is the grant program is like, from the grant node. And the grant node is from the grant committee, is who like, yays or nays that. And that's the grant channel, which is under network. So yeah, but I mean, the grant program's been going great too. As folks know, we had those 2 viral moments. I see Excellency Juno in the audience, who was one of the grantees who had a huge launch. Collectively, I think they had over 100,000, them and Stream to Peer plus, what's the other one? Stream to Peer and Stream.tv. Both of them together had, I think, over 100,000 views on Twitter. So, and they both had tag Livepeer. So that was a really big moment for us, top of funnel, and kind of highlighted the strength of like the grants program.
Cool. While we still wait for Rick, Mike, I had a question for you. Have you ever dealt with TypeScript?
Yes.
Are you a TypeScript master?
No.
So
Go ahead.
I'm just kind of curious because Eliza is written all in 100% TypeScript, and
Yeah.
so I'm doing my learning curve for TypeScript. Just wanted to hear your opinion on dealing with it and if you've had experience with it, kind of things to watch out for you.
TypeScript is basically JavaScript. The only thing you need to do is you need to install and configure your project with the TypeScript compiler. So there's a lot of setup and additional steps that you need to do. But as far as like understanding TypeScript from a programmer's perspective, it's just like JavaScript. I mean, if you don't, do you know JavaScript?
Yeah. Like I know it enough that I've written it and like, you know, not like an expert in JavaScript, but it makes like I can read it. I can understand what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like JavaScript. The only difference is in JavaScript, when you have like a variable name where you set a variable like, const name equals quote Mike. The big difference between TypeScript and JavaScript, it would be that when you say const name equals Mike, instead of before the equals, you would need a colon and the word string to tell the TypeScript compiler what data type each variable is. Like that's the big difference, is that TypeScript allows you to say every time you define a variable, give it a data type. Like if it's a number, or if it's a string, or if it's something else, like you have to be really explicit with it.
That's
I
called
personally,
static typing, right?
yeah, static typing, absolutely. I mean, some programming languages have it built in. JavaScript does not. So you need to like add that in later, and TypeScript is the way to do that. And your JavaScript project needs to be set up with the TypeScript compiler to compile your TypeScript in the JavaScript, then you can run it.
Yeah.
I think that Eliza project does that stuff for you. If you just clone their repo, it automatically has TypeScript set up. Like, and when you run the build of the agent, it will automatically build the agent, and the examples are all written in TypeScript as well. So it's, I mean, you just got to learn the syntax.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just diving into it today. I was trying to modify a package that is imported, and I didn't realize that I had to like go into the package and build the package first, so that when you build your main program, it includes the JavaScript already compiled from the the output of the package or something like that.
That's correct.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, because I'm so used to Python where you don't have to compile anything, right? You just import the package and away it goes, right?
Yeah, JavaScript's the same way for the most part, I think.
Yeah, JavaScript is, but TypeScript does this whole like pre-compile thing, right? So you have to.
That's correct.
Right. So this is where I'm like learning about compiling. I'm like, I know about compiling. Like I've compiled Go Livepeer numerous times. But I'm like, yeah. So anyway, I'm finding it very fun and challenging. This.
ChatGPT is your best friend, man.
Yeah.
He could definitely help you navigate TypeScript stuff. It's not that difficult with some ChatGPT ninja skills.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been messing around with different frameworks. I went with a based agent for creating AI bots. That one's in Python, so I felt very natural in that one. And that one was heavily focused on on-chain transactions. That's that's the Coinbase agent. And so yeah, basically I launched the agent. All it wanted to do was like mint NFT projects and do it. Like it was like, okay, this is pretty spammy. Like Like every tweet was like, I'm into a new NFT project. Look, I'm creating, like, I'm sending money here. It was like kind of like, it was and it had like no personality. It was just chain stuff, and then the personality part was like uh maybe a paragraph, something. Okay. And I checked out Eliza AI 60, and they have like a totally different take. They focus way more on like, personality of the bot.
Yeah.
So you really spend probably a whole day creating your character. Like, it reminds me of playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you could just spend hours and hours like creating paragraphs of lore and bio and adjectives it knows and topics it likes and styles of communication and message examples. So I think overall humans are going to be more interested in the Eliza bot custom ability for personality.
Yeah, that's why I started looking at it. I mean, I think you're right. There's a lot of like config that goes in there. And it's a lot of config, not just for like how it responds back to you. It's also like what commands and actions that you can tell it to and how it responds to those actions. So like you'll go in there and say, you know, submit a Twitter post, right? And it knows that command and it runs specific logic to like invoke that command for you. So like, yeah, you can work on how it interacts from a language perspective, which is super deep, but it gives you even more power when you allow it to, when people can interact and tell it to do something and then it goes off and does it. And I find that stuff very fascinating. And I
Yeah.
think that's where you're going to find a lot of real utility coming out of it.
Yeah, and they have this whole plugin system where like anyone can create a plugin, and you can just tell the character or the agent like, hey, these are the actions within this plugin you can use. Like, feel free to use it, right?
Yeah.
Really interesting concept. I mean, plugins are not new; they're very common, but just the agent itself isn't hard coded. It has a basic decision path, but then beyond that, like, you can just give it action.
Yeah. No, that's pretty slick. I mean, I'll be interested to see where you get. You're ahead of me now. I'm not. I started reading about it, but I haven't actually like built one yet. I usually try to take an example one and get it to work without changing it, and then go to town modifying it after that. So that was at least my plan. I got to get some spare time to do it.
My first project was the punk agent, agentpunk.io or .ai. Hold a punk, you can deploy your agent, and I'll kind of run it for you. It's just Twitter, but it.
And did it work for you?
Yeah. I got 2 live agents, so I got 2 agents that are working, and the idea is you have to sign a message that you own the punk, and only if you can sign a message saying you own the punk, then you can update the character file. You can turn off and turn on the punk. You can actually manage the agent itself. You can't tell the agent what to say. Like, you can't actually take
Um,
control of the Twitter that it creates and the wallet that it, but you can update its character, right? So you have
mhm.
control to adjust its personality and what it likes to do and how it likes to interact and all these kinds of things. So if that agent ever gets a huge following, the new punk owner, if they ever sell that punk, they get now control of the character, right?
Yeah.
And with it comes the Twitter and the Farcaster and the wallet address and everything else. History goes with it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
So
That is really cool.
I got that up and running, and so I got 2 agents running, and they are got some organic followers, so like that's cool. And then as I'm digging down this rabbit hole of like how do I add functionality to the punk? I got reached out by a team that was, hey, we want to make four agents talk to each other in a private room about meme coin, and every hour give a recommendation on what meme coin they pump and to Twitter. And I was like, okay, I mean, it seems pretty simple. So implementation is pretty easy. All you have to do is like, you have to like put the, because there's already a Discord integration with Eliza, so just put them into a private Discord room and talk to each other indefinitely, and give one of them tweeting power to tweet every.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how well it is. Like, I really wanted to spend some time like curating that character, like you were saying, trying to make it sound like me, like give it enough context to see if it actually would start responding like me. I thought that would be a fun little example to try.
Well, you can give it your Twitter, you can give it your X data, and it will create a character based on your X account. So
yeah, I'm not active enough on there. I'll just be reposting Livepeer posts.
well, that's what happened to me, because I did that, and I just have a Livepeer maxi as an agent now. And all he does is talk about how great decentralized infrastructure is and how great
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's funny.
so.
Oh, that's cool, man. We gotta play with this more. You ever here, see the show? What was that? Fighting Robots, where the two robots would battle. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, create your own robot and then send it into the arena and let it fight the other robots. I want to go in there and like create an agent and allow it either to fight or argue with somebody. That'll be awesome.
Well, AI16Z's Discord literally has a channel called The Arena. Just bots yelling at each other.
That's hilarious.
It's the third channel down in their Discord, so it definitely is. They're into it. The AI16Z team who's creating Eliza also, they got some humor, man. Like,
yeah,
they got a plugin called the butt plug. and it has 3 functions, like vibrate, like,
oh jeez,
yeah, it's and if you enable the plugin, the bot will do these things. So,
oh wow, that's terrible.
They they got, yeah, I mean, even their example character files is like Andrew Tate and Trump, and like the Andrew Tate one is just such a rip on him. Like, he's like some guy who's just delusional and thinking that he's in charge of the Matrix, and like who just like scams people for their money. Like, dude, it is like the funniest, probably truest character file you could get of like Andrew Tate. Yeah, so they got some humor, man. Like,
well, I'm just curious how Livepeer fits in. That was the other part. Is like, I know they're running an LLM locally, right? You have a local LLM running with it.
and I'm not running a local LLM. I'm just using guys.
Okay. Oh, you're going right to OpenAI. I see. I was trying to initially when I started out last week. I had a little bit of time. I was like, oh, you know what? It uses OpenAPI. All right, cool. I'm just gonna use the OpenAPI that Nico said that they got working with the Livepeer LLM SPE, and I was gonna use that instead of calling OpenAPI. Like, configure it like it is OpenAPI, but like use the Livepeer LLM SPE's like implementation to like interact with it. But I didn't get a chance to get that working. But I would imagine that should work, right?
Yeah, well, I want that, and I think that's written in Python. Or is there a TypeScript version of that?
What of the
The
LLM
middleware.
integration?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get that far. I was just reading about like Eliza supports OpenAPI's SDKs. So I thought, if you could just plug in like the host name and the API key, that you should be able to just use it. But I wasn't able to figure it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, was allowing people to use Livepeer GPUs by just like having that middleware between but is that middleware run like on does it have to be a package that locally that it's running, or can you literally just change the host name and it can send it to a gateway and it will spawn correctly?
That was my hope, is that's how it would be, is that you'd basically change the host name and put in the right API key, and it'll just start sending it to the gateway. Obviously, Livepeer Cloud is free to use, so if I could figure out a way to make that work, then that would be a real easy way to like point to this URL for your LLM instead of point to Open API, and you should be good to go.
But the way that OpenAPI's package serves the requests, they probably don't match what we do.
No, that's the stuff that Nico built. Is he built like a translation layer between the Open API calls to the Livepeer calls.
Oh, and you would put
So
that in front of your gateway, basically.
yeah, exactly. And it would act like Open API, but under the covers, it would be translating it back to Livepeer LLM calls through the AI network.
Dude, can you spin up an endpoint? I wanna point my thing towards it.
Again, I didn't get it set up yet, but that was my thought. I didn't know if you spent any time getting that far. Sounds like you're still early there.
I'm still deep in the Eliza pit. I'm trying to figure out how TypeScript works and how the plugins work, and but I could imagine, yeah, just going into the TypeScript package for OpenAI, find the host name, change it. The OpenAI key is already in a .env file, right?
That's right.
So all you need to do is redirect the package, throw in a key if you need a key. I don't need, for
Right, Livepeer Cloud Gateway has no key, so you could
you
send it right to the URL. As long as it's a valid request, it goes.
The thing is, if I could pop in,
Quick note.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to jump, but I just want to say that Jumo jumped up from stream to peer to share about what they're building, but I just wanted to say that before I jumped out and just left him up here.
No worries.
Anyway, continue.
Okay, so,
Thanks.
okay, well,
we're gonna have more conversations on this one, Tight. I think you just started. I started poking around, reading about it. I'm gonna get my hands dirty in the next week or so. I have some more free time, so I mean,
I'd like to just like if the SPE is open for it, I'd like to just put out a video, a tutorial on just like real quick how to get free inference for your Eliza, and people will probably flock to it, right?
Well, that was my thought. Is, hey man, if we could somehow expose the endpoint so that people could say, you know what, I'm tired of paying OpenAI credits. I might as well just point to Livepeer. Even if they had to pay even a fraction of what they were paying on OpenAI, it still would be a lot better to point it to Livepeer. So at least that's what I was thinking. I mean, I got some work to do, but hopefully with a little bit of grind, we should be able to figure something out.
And that translation layer, that middleware he built, that's a Python implementation.
No, it's Go.
Oh, it's Go.
I'm gonna shoot you the repo. Hang on.
Oh, so it's just a Go binary that listens.
Yeah. Yep.
But the gateway is not built into it. It just points to a gateway node.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll post it in the chat here once I find it.
Does it also do embedding then? I'm just learning about embedding. Because OpenAI offers embedding, so embedding something that done. How does that work? Is that done by the CPU? Because I had an issue with local embedding. I was using a different embedding provider, and it was breaking my database. So I had to switch to OpenAI's embedding, and it worked.
I don't know. I didn't get that far into it.
I'm deep, man. And it
I
only
see.
happens. It only happens when you're on the Discord plugin. So I don't even know.
Here.
I don't even know how that works.
No, I found it.
Hey, I'll let you post it. We're gonna jump back into this. Maybe Rick will. Let's do Jumo.
Go ahead.
Jumo, are you with us? Excellency Jumo.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good day, everyone.
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Yeah. So myself and two of my close colleagues worked on Stream to Peer. So Stream to Peer is basically the project that basically gives users the enablement to stream from the platform to various other media platforms, and also to help creators manage their communities across board to different specific viewers, or basically people who are basically following their content. So it just gives more like the same idea Livepeer has on the Livepeer Studio. You have various projects, and for each project, you kind of have a niche for the kind of content you want to stream or give to your viewers in different projects. But the thing is, for each project, basically only invited peers would have access to those projects. I mean, specifically based on if it's going to be private or if it's going to be public for anyone to jump on or join by invitation. And so one of the things we are able to support right now is using YouTube and Twitch for multi-streaming, and we are looking to like support other platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and also X, formerly Twitter. And yeah, so some of the other enhancements are also looking at in the future as well is also like in terms of payment to generate revenue for creators who jump on our platform, including seeing how we can also support crypto wallets for users to also for us to be able to support cryptocurrency, right? Most especially using the Livepeer token as well to also support the Livepeer community as well. Yeah. So just basically the summary of what we are working on Stream to Peer and some of the future features we are looking at.
Well, do you have a link to like a demo or something, or still in the?
Yeah, sure. We have a demo. I can send you one we posted on Twitter. Just give me a minute. And so for the link to the site is currently live. And she posted the link on the chat, but I'm just going to send you a link to our demo in a minute now. Copy link. Yeah. All right. So yeah. And this is linked to the site. Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be let's go to today's content. This is message. Just going to retag the link here. Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's just basically what Stream to Pay is about. So
Excellent. To read up on it. Anything else? Is this a part of a like a startup grant, or what? How did you get started?
so I got started by it was actually just a grant. Basically, we applied for a grant and we got up on the project, but this isn't the startup. We aren't part of the startup grant yet, although N gave us some sort of like information late last week about more like information about there's something upcoming, more like a startup grant, but we have limited information about it for now. So, but of course, any opportunity that comes up for us to see how we can expand Stream to Peer, of course, we're open up to seeing how we can make good use of it.
Very cool. Right on. Well, I encourage people to go check it out. If you have any questions, reach out to Jumbo directly. I'm sure that you're available to chat and help. Board. Very exciting.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Titan. If you don't mind, I actually have a question, like regards to Livepeer, right? So there was this feature we're actually looking at, because basically the Stream to Peer is actually more like an open source version of StreamYard. And one of the features we are yet to implement from StreamYard is the fact that for those who would want to collaborate with their peers, basically more like co-host, right? Where you're basically able to share your screen and not a single share your screen itself, but you can have like 3 people or 4 people who will be on like a call. You guys' videos are going to be on it where people are able to watch you guys live. So for now, what we can see from stream to peer is just one person having the access to stream or showcase his video on basically the stream data. And I was redirected to one of the hackathon project that was submitted weeks back or so, and I reached out and I saw that basically it was a different platform, a different SDK that was basically able to support um, collaboration on a single stream. So I just wanted to know if it was something that Livepeer is still going to consider in future releases, because I think I read up on the fact that it used to be supported until when it was depreciated from basically the SDK. So is there something maybe you could like, okay, someone has spoken something about it.
Aniche says multi-participant streaming API for Livepeer has been.
Cool.
You try LiveKit.
Yeah, exactly. LiveKit is basically the same SDK I was actually talking about, because it basically means we'll be using another SDK and on top of LivePeer, or basically we'll be using LiveKit SDK, and then we'll be using LivePeer as our RTMP source basically to send the stream data to LivePeer instead of using LivePeer directly. And but of course the focus was using LivePeer as our main streaming SDK, right? So if we're going to employ live kits, we understood that it means LivePeer SDK was basically not the main streaming SDK we'll be working with directly. So we would have to be using LivePeer as more like a third party to help to stream to other platforms instead. So that was just basically the constraints we saw when using LiveKit. And of course, while our purpose was and goal was basically to use LivePeer.
Very good. Cool. Nietzsche says with Livepeer has backend in. You can well you can says cool. All right. No, looking forward to that. And if you need any more help and stuff, hang around. Probably not. But I think obviously Aniche is going down this path and been there, so. Okay, let's continue on. I think Rick is gone. Mike, you back? Back? You want to come up and chat a little more about this Eliza integration? The authority null. How you doing, sir?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you do.
Awesome. How's it going?
Got any topics you'd like to cover?
No, I was curious how much OpenAI was charging you for the Eliza stuff.
Well, it largely depends. This is a good question. It largely depends on what you're doing. Looking at my bill right now, it's not a lot. I mean, it's like it's one of those things where so my bots, my punk agent punks, they are doing a tweet every 130 minutes. hours. And I'm just that comes out to 2 of them for 24 hours is about 4 cents. So you're doing a low amount of text inference, like not a lot of. Now it started generating images, and that started to increase the bill a little bit, not by much, but it doesn't give me the cost per inference, I don't think. It gives me the total cost. DALL-E, that's the one. So probably 4 cents an image. Yeah. So if it does like 10 images, 40 cents. So if I have like a bunch of bots doing, whatever, 20, 30 images a day, sure, it's adding up. And then, but what's happened is I've built these bots that continuously talk to each other. And they're sending a request every second, every 500 milliseconds to try and respond to the other bots. And I got 4 of them. So those I think will just start racking up pretty quick.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I'm thinking of a pretty cool use case, but I don't know if agents would even, they might be too overkill for it. I'm thinking like if you layer an agent on top of a Discord bot and just have it do things for you with basic speech, with like a personality and in conversation, so you don't have to type a command, if that would be worth looking into, or if that's not what agents are really meant for. But like, hey bot, can you DCA LPT for me for the next, until I tell you not to, instead of /DCA, select a token, blah, blah, blah. Just talk to an agent and do it for you.
Yeah, that would be exactly what an agent. It's already actually pre-built. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like quite literally what Eliza can do today. So what you would do is you literally set up your Eliza bot, your Eliza agent, Discord to a Discord bot. You can talk to it. I have a private channel where I can talk to my agents, and those agents are issued a wallet, and all they need is the private key. Really do everything on behalf of your wallet.
Right. Yeah. With Flipsuite, everyone gets a wallet already. So I guess you just tie an agent to each user's Discord ID and it would be locked to them. So nobody could exploit that.
Yeah. But then you got key
Awesome.
management on the agents. Because the agent has to be able to sign.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Or unless you have wait, your Discord bot can already do transactions?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. So that's already built in.
So then all you'd have to do is add actions. They're called actions to your bot, your Eliza agent, and you would just have to define how to deal with that action. So you would say the action is do send tokens or do swap them, and if it were, you would then describe like go to your agent or your API or whatever and call this function this way, right? And then you just add that as a list of commands that the allowed to do.
Yeah.
So that way it could talk with you, and if you ask it to, it will then.
Yeah. It's so sick. I love that we can abstract that much now already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So. No, I'm digging into the weeds of like the actions of the Eliza platform. So yeah, I'm not sure if Eliza's the right move for that though. You might want like a based agent, because Eliza is just it's full of personality, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't sure. Eliza was one of the ones that our dev sent to me. It was like, hey, we could use this since it has like Discord support built in. But I know there's many, many, many other agents that you could use, but maybe not as fun as Eliza.
Yeah, Eliza's fun because it will be quirky. Like you could tell it to be quirky. Hey, hey, Alice, flip my LPT into ETH for me. It will be like, ding dong, like, yes, master. Whatever you say is true, but badoo, and then it like does it, right? And it will do it. So it just, I don't know, it can be super quirky. Whatever you want. Serious. I have one that talks back to me. It's quite funny. Yeah, and the Discord, it already has the Discord bot integration package.
Yeah, I could see like users setting the, their personality, whatever they want for their agents, and how they'll be able to interact with a bot using that agent. Could be really cool.
Yeah, the Eliza framework is something that I'm kind of focused on. Down like the based agents, and Eliza one is, I think, the most interesting. So I'm gonna spend while learning the framework, try to extract information out of it, be there, and also try and I think I got a plan. I'm going to run this middleware and forward the middleware requests to the Cloud SPE. And then I'm going to create a little tutorial on how to get free inference with Eliza. Free, uncensored, no guardrail inference. I think people would be really interested.
Yeah, I think you drive demand pretty quickly with that. I don't think there'd be much resistance.
I'm gonna do that at some point. Yeah, no, the Eliza thing, people are like really into. It's absolutely on there.
So how do we run it? Like as orchestrators, how do we support it?
For what?
Eliza, like, is it like a model, or
No,
how does it work?
no, it's not a model at all. It uses model. So it's a framework. It's like it's literally just like a pre-built package how to build AI agent. So it's like WordPress, right? It's like WordPress itself isn't a language, right? It's just a really simple way to build, and it abstracts away like PHP and all the programming language. So what Eliza is, now it's not WordPress. What it is like, listen, all you have to do is create a character file. So a character file is like JSON file, like what is your bio, what is your lore, what are your actions, settings. All you have to do is create a one file document explaining what your agent is, what it does, how it wants to behave. And then you just write PNPM start, and your agent goes, right? So in the background, the Eliza framework, so it's all the code, it is doing things like how to handle decisions, it has a database, SQLite, to record memories, like handle remembering things across all your different sites. So the thing is, if you say something on Twitter and someone says something back, then it remembers that for Discord. So if someone says something on Discord, it can be like, no, I heard that it's meme coin X is actually at the moon. I read it on Twitter. So it has like this cross platform integrations. So that's all in the Eliza framework. So the Eliza framework is just like one big plugin that allows the agent to have logic, and then it uses models to do the inference. It has to call a model, a machine, or an endpoint or something to think. Right? It has to actually call something. do the thing. So right now, I'm just using the OpenAI endpoint. That's what does all the thinking. That's what does all like the.
So I guess that's what I meant. Like, are we going to be doing the thinking? Is that the plan for Livepeer? Is that what LLM support will give us?
Yeah, that's we do. Livepeer does the thinking. We are doing.
Right, but who's running LLMs right now on Livepeer?
A few people. There's like one. I think Brad is. I mean, I can spin one up. Anyone can spin up a text LLM. Yeah, pretty small model. I think it's only like 4 gigs.
Is there going to be a quality difference between? Well, I assume there will be, right? If you're going for a very small model compared to a much bigger LLM, will Eliza be different?
Yes. So Eliza, you get to choose your model. So you get to choose your endpoint and choose your model, right? And the problem is there's like 20 models to choose from. So everyone's like clamoring to try and like. I think the Llama 3 is the only thing that right now has inference for, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone wants to use Claude, right? Claude Vertex.
How beefy is that one? Okay.
Look into it. Spin one up.
I don't know. My 4090s, they're not enough these days. Can't run anything nice.
Text is simple though. Text is small compared to.
Isn't Llama like? Don't you need like 48 gigs or something?
But we have it
I'll have to
on
look into it.
Livepeer. We have it on the network.
There's a bunch of different llamas that are different sizes. I don't know, but
Yeah, Meta Llama 3.18 billion. The one that. So I don't know what. Know how many gigs it is.
Do a quick Google search, I guess.
So I think the latest one, Llama 3.370 billion parameters one. I think it would fit in a 64 gigs of RAM. Like, but you would need a 64 gigs of video memory. Oh yeah, or if it's running on CPU, it's going to be like pretty slow, maybe like I don't know, like 2-3 tokens per second. So that's going to be pretty slow.
Yeah, and the amount of tokens that Eliza is sending through is like, along with the input, are all the instructions for the input. So it's like, task, like decide whether a response should be made, whether it should be continue, ignore, or respond. Instructions. Alice is an AI agent. She needs to determine how to respond to this text based on its bio, lore, adjectives, topics, like a small novel of who this person is. Based on this, please provide a text response, also including memories, and then it looks into its database, it pulls back like a vector, it does, I think, a vector search for closest related things. Then it gives it like 5 memories as well. So like text tweets based on things that are relevant. And then so it's sending like a huge amount of token requests to the inference. And then what you get back is what is either the action or the response that it needs to, the content, right? So I'd assume if you're on CPU, it's just could chug away.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see how the supply side scales for that, because, I mean, from what you said, it sounds like you're going to need some beefy LLMs on the network. And, if you send a ton of demand through, it's going to need to be several, not just Brad.
But at the
I think
same,
you'd also need like smarter models. Not, I don't think 8 billion or 1 billion, the latest one from Meta, 1 billion and 8 billion. I don't think those would work with like complicated and long, really long instructions and the syntax following for like to execute actions and stuff. I don't think those will work really well. You'd really need like either 70 or even larger.
What are the here? Let me just look at the Eliza docs on what they recommend. Docs. Choose your model. Eliza supports multiple AI models. Purist models are uncensored. Select the available model. Okay, so these are providers. So there's 4 providers. Purist. So these are the default providers in Eliza. Purist, Llama, Grok, and OpenAI. Those are your 4 paid providers that have integrations for directly as into the core package. And of those, for instance, here's the Hurist list. They offer 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different text-based, including Llama 3.1, 405 billion, Llama 3, 70 billion, 0.1, 70 billion. I don't even have the Llama. There it is. The Llama 3.18 billion. But I don't think anyone would choose that. Llama 3.1. The Llama 3.1, 405 billion. Best? Or more parameters is better?
Oh, that is a really large model. I think it
Yeah, I
takes
mean, that's
like
gonna be huge.
200 gigs or something. You can't run it locally. You need like a server setup for that. I think like the new 3.370 billion is like the distilled version from 405, so it's like almost equal in like a couple of tasks, I think. So if we could hold like 70 billion, I think that would be like really nice.
For local inference, set the do local inference on your GPU. So yeah, so local inference requires a GPU. Llama inference. Better, I think. So I think I'm assuming this 400 like not open source then 405 billion.
It is, but it is open source. You mean from the Meta?
Oh, so yeah, because Meta open sources all their Llama, right?
Yeah, it's open source, but as I said, like it's like almost 250 gigs, so there's no way like you could run it in like normal GPUs. You'd need like, I don't know, 3 or 4 800 or
Uncensored. They advertise. Yeah, so I guess I mean, is the Llama 8 billion gonna be good enough? Eliza. Doesn't mean like I think someone just wants to spin up the 70 billion bit. Eliza people to it. The problem with the people building on Eliza though are pretty sensitive. Like if you're getting a bad bot or bad responses, I think people, because I'm using the OpenAI model and it's like really boring. Responses are like so guardrailed. It's like fun, like switch providers just.
Yeah, a great test would be just to see how fast and how accurate the 8 billion one is, and then compare it to the 70 and see what the difference is between those two models.
I also there's there's the question of that. There's also the question of, are people price sensitive? Like I know that I had to put my credit card into OpenAI just to buy credits, just blah blah blah, right? There was just a free option to try out of that. So if someone just had like hey, just replace this URL with this URL in this package, start out with free inference.
Yeah, it just needs to work. That's the thing. It needs to work, even if it's free. Can't be shit.
But I'm sure the 8 billion model is not like, sure it's.
I think I'm just curious if it's fast. You know, like a chatbot, you want it to be quick. You don't want to be waiting around for a response.
I think LLM stuff is pretty quick. Image and video are hard, but like chat, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I think 8 billion you could fit in like 24 gigs if you have like a quantized version. I think int 4 or int 8 you could fit in like 24 gigs. I tried with like Olama. Just pulled 8 billion like and it worked easily, so. And it's like outputting like 25 30 tokens. So it's not that bad. Like it works fast, but the thing is it good enough for Eliza as a bot backend? Because if it can't follow instructions like with a really long context or it gets lost and forgets something, and then it would just be annoying rather than helpful.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this. I'm gonna start messing around. Like I said, I'm doing a deep dive into Eliza, so I'm gonna try and test models. I'm gonna test Livepeer one comparison. Good enough. Create a tutorial for people to try it out. Otherwise, yeah. I think the large demand push for these things is gonna be agents. I really think are not gonna be primarily used for humans. I think they're gonna be. There's also a desire for decentralized, not but uncensored people that I'm working with are like, yeah, we don't want to sign up for OpenAI keys. We don't want. Just want to run something a bit more anon. And I know the Eigenlayer network is launching their own alt layer, is doing their centralized Eliza deployment. So using restaked ETH, you can launch centralized Elizas. So the Eliza framework is open source. You can launch, then you can pay nodes to keep an Eliza agent alive. So if that Eliza agent was already decentralized and open source, you wouldn't want to use API endpoints. You would want to use alignment might come in. So then my next question was, okay, we could use the middleware where somebody's hosting the middleware. The other way to do it is actually just creating middleware and gateway node directly in TypeScript. And then what it does is all you have to do is enter a private key. And the package spins up the gateway node and interacts directly with orchestrators. So the Eliza framework can deploy a gateway node on its own, right? I think that would be like those are kind of my two.
Did Nico have like a gateway for LLMs? I think that was similar to OpenAI. You would just need the like a gateway URL and authorization key, I think API key, and you would just replace that instead of OpenAI, and it would work.
Yeah,
I think that was the
that's the middleware here that I'll launch and try it out. Made this about 2 months ago. Mike shared it with it. Yeah, that might be like a simple fix. Here's some free inference. Switch your OpenAI endpoint. Middleware
I
is
think
for
with
adding the history. Thinking easily with OpenAI. Rick, what do you mean by that? Because what we were thinking is to just in Eliza, the OpenAI package, go into the package and modify the host, send it, the middleware. There, the middleware will point it towards like Cloud SB point. Kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah, sorry for being a little bit late. I said I would be here, but we had some engineering things I had to do with my team to get for the launch. Yeah, so how I understood the middleware, I haven't played with it much, is that it's just a replacement for OpenAI. So you can use it to directly use the same calling methods to call the Livepeer stuff. So it's similar to a wrapper, if I understand it correctly.
So, forward LLM gateway.
So we have the normal SDKs. They also have LLMs in there, but then you have two problems. The interface is a little bit different than what you're used to with OpenAI, and also it doesn't remember the history. So don't quote me on this, but what I think the middleware does with the code, diving deeper into it, it uses the last chat history and it keeps it so that you should have the same experience with OpenAI where it remembers some of the chat history.
Yeah, Eliza already has its own. You don't have to rely on Open.
Okay. So for that, it's not needed.
Eliza's already got its own local data. Inputs all the memory, all the relevant prompt. Eliza handles all that.
I think there would be like how long is the context? I don't know how long is the context for our Livepeer. I think Nico's middleware. If you need like a context of like 100,000 tokens, I don't think that's available with middleware.
I think the tokens is probably like just eyeballing it. Probably at like 500.
Okay. That's not too bad.
1,000 tokens, maybe.
Yeah, closer to that. Each word is almost like a...
One or two.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, as the memory grows, will it need like more longer and longer context length?
No, I think it tries to it only sends like 4 or 5 memory things. Pretty consistent. Because it'll use it'll search through its database and only send relevant memory. So it doesn't send all memories, and then even if there's like a lot of memories, it still just finds the closest. Like I can send you an example prompt here. I think I got one loaded up, literally. Here. Here it is. Okay, here's an entire prompt. Conversation message. Okay, copy. This is a prompt. It's not. I don't think it's that long. One example. That's my modified prompt where I just want it to continue talking. Full prompt. Processing text. The processing text prompt. Knowledge query prompt. I think this is the longest prompt. This is the that if you read that second one, you'll see that it tries to elicit an action out of it. So what it's doing is it's saying, hey, listen, go through this and decide whether you should respond, ignore, or stop. And then respond, ignore, or stop are actions from the Boot core plugin. Allows it to, do the next. Rick's got to go. No worries, man. No, it's all good. We've had a good conversation. Yeah. So do you think that would fit into like an 8 billion model, Jason?
I think 8 billion has like a... You could modify, but then it would also depend on like the size of RAM you have. The longer the context, the more RAM you need to process all that. I think yeah, it could be set up with like 32,000 tokens, and I think that would fit. That would fit within 32 easily.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd have to test out. Like, do you already have one working? Because I think Papa Bear shared. Oh, okay. He doesn't have the API. You could just switch to the Livepeer one right away and test like how well it works if you already have it set
here,
up.
why don't we do LLM? Here, I'll just paste that in there. Model. No models.
Like, I'm not sure if the gateway is like, does it have like authentication and stuff?
Failed to generate LLM. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I don't have.
Also, if you need to like provide the model name or...
Oh, there we go. I had to switch the. Max tokens 256.
No, that's the default. You can raise it up, but I think gas price right now might be causing that model to fail, or some models to fail.
That's ridiculous. Why is that a thing?
gas.
Why are models failing and jobs failing because of the gas price on Arbitrum?
Because the way that Livepeer calculates the ticket price is based off of the gas, and it gets to be crazy amounts of money to pay that multiple of the gas fee.
I think that's. I really don't understand why we modified the ticket.
Well, it was from L1. You didn't want the gas. You didn't want to cash a ticket and spend more money cashing the ticket than the ticket was worth. But I think on L2 that probably be changed or at least modified to make it a lower multiple. Gas was crazy though a little while ago. I mean, it was over 15 Gwei when it's normally like 0.01 or something like that.
So
So,
trying
yeah,
the
got
I'm
it.
trying the error, getting an error on the.
Let's see who's running that one now.
I don't
But
think
FB,
it's does it support like OpenAI style?
was that what
Like
you're trying to do? Yeah, if you just, but it's failing you, and just like if you put something in the text prompt right now. So it seems like
Yeah, I'm just
the
on
models
the
are
AI
not.
generator.livepeer.cloud. At the thing, I'm just.
Okay.
See what error it's throwing, but yeah, it's not working for me either right now. Which where are you, Titan, on the West Coast? Which gateway your
My
stuff's going to?
settings. I tried the Dream Gateway. This normal one.
Okay,
I
just
went West Coast, West.
it's they're all going to go to the same works. There's 3 that the SPE is running, the AI SPE is running, and 1 that Nico's running.
It says failed to generate.
Yeah, and I was going to see what the gateway actually is throwing, if it anything of value. Let's take a look.
You can try East or FRA. They're a bit closer to that location. I was doing some testing on the US West region anyway, so it should be working, but I was doing some playing around with live video on that one. Maybe I broke the gateway.
See, there's one. I'm looking at the LLM itself. The AISPE.livepeer.ai has one more model. It's you guys, right?
No, that's
We are not the
Eliza.
AISPE. That's Rick's team.
Oh, that's Rick's team. Oh, right. That's I think that's Brad. I think Brad is.
He could be. I see 3 are being hosted by them. Do you see three warm next to them? Oh, it doesn't say how many next to them, but I see there's four warm models, and I know that Nico's running 1.
Or,
Oh,
yeah.
his is cold. So actually, so they're running 4. AISP is running 4. So there's just 2 orcs that are running it, and Nico's running 1. We can say that the AISP is cold. We know that the 4 warm ones are on the AISPs, but yeah, they're not.
So yeah, are you able to
Yeah.
check on your logs to see?
I'm looking. I don't see anything here. Getting 500. Doesn't tell me a whole lot. Failed to create shim. OCI runtime. Create failed. Run C. Create failed. No use, but we'll look into it.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that is going to the AISP. I can say.
Anyway, I'm doing a deep dive into Eliza. Just if we can get reliable inference on the billion, that
Yeah, it's definitely worth testing. I'm going to shoot Brad a message just to see if he sees anything on there, because like you said, he's probably the one that's actually running it.
maybe or maybe it's worth someone else running.
Yep.
I think we
you want-
were. I think Nico was also working on like separating the AMA model into multiple GPUs within a single system, so it can hold larger models.
That's right. Yeah, he was paralyzed.
Yeah, and
LLMs.
if you could run like, I don't know, if a single orchestrator could have like a 2-3 GPUs in a single setup, and then could split the model and just run even just a 70 billion model, that it would if it gets a lot of inference, I mean that would be profitable, I think, even for orchestrators. But you would
Well,
need to.
the thing about Eliza, if you're trying to sell to humans, the amount of text prompt they need, like when I use a Cursor or Claude or any like text editors, like I spend a minute reading code. I send one prompt, send a prompt. I do that for an hour or two, and then offer it. Like, I'm not generating a lot of prompts, but the chat room, 4 bots talking about which next meme coin is going to moon, and posting that to Twitter, like they don't mind dumping $100 a day into if generating that out of entertainment views, right? And those are the consuming apps. So I really think AI agents are going to be the consumer stuff.
Way like whoever has the cheapest inference is gonna win, because you can't really run like below your cost. If you have like a 4 GPUs in a system, and then you're charging, just say, like $1 for 1,000,000 tokens input and like $1 for 1,000,000 token output, and if you don't even get that value out, I don't think it would be profitable. But I don't know how cheap are other services offering.
I don't know the economics of it. I just know end is going to primarily be agent. So agents, high cost, impressive stuff, or do they want? Gonna guess that, like, I know when I'm building my agent, I would rather pick the 405 billion model, tweet less often, but have the personal experience.
So that would be
Might be
like
my preference too, but everyone has their own needs. But yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree that no one wants crappy results.
Just based on the Eliza community, that's kind of what people really pay for it.
Even if you think normally, like you would spend like $10-15 a month to run an AI agent, and if it inferences like 20 million tokens in that month, I don't know how that would work with the economics of inferencing, but there will be a lot of tokens like going and coming, so that would be something too.
Cool. Okay. Well, we've been at this for like 2 hours, so we're gonna end it there. Thank you all for coming for today's water cooler chat. Make you interesting. Appreciate y'all being here. See you all next week. Cheers.
Everyone.
Exciting, and all the best with the project. Hope to see it on Livepeer soon.